Today I decided to take you behind the scenes of JSB's Digital Diaries. I've got my own D-Rock behind the camera. He's called Jamie. I've brought in some of my favourite digital divas who I actually met through the world of social media and digital marketing, and I'm going to be asking them how and why they have chosen a career in digital. Later on, I'm also going to take you behind the scenes of JSB Talks Digital. I'm celebrating International Podcast Day and I'm going to broadcast it live on Facebook. So let me tell you and share with you how I get so much out of my 12-hour working day. Welcome to JSB Talks Digital, and you know, today I have more than JSB in the room. I've actually surrounded myself by some of my favourite digital divas in the business of digital marketing, and today we're going to discuss how digital has transformed our careers, and in some cases it might have transformed our lives. The theme is we're all in jobs that didn't exist 10 years ago.
And it has changed my life because I'm able to work remotely from anywhere in the world, and it's just brought amazing people into my life.
It's really changed over the 10 years. It's amazing when I look back at the journey.
And Teresa rocks, she rocks, you know?
You can get them to connect with who they really are and bring that through. The more they feel happy in themselves, they feel a sense of peace, a sense of belonging in themselves.
I went all in with the Agora Pulse last year, and it's the best decision I've made. So still working from home, still working remote, and again, able to connect with people all over the world.
Things, and you're a smart marketer, because I love watching.
I'm glad I came down. Well, we're looking at everyone else for approval is where confidence comes from, but you know, you just got to believe what you're doing is right, and you know, can't rely on anyone else.
Later, out of the blue, they called me up and said, you know that conversation in the canteen, will you come in and have a chat with us? And next thing, I was sitting in front of 10 people. I had never done a slideshow presentation. I just had me and I just had to speak. Fantastic. And I ended up getting a 3-day-a-week job with them, and then now I have a digital marketing agency 6 years later.
Isn't that amazing? Ladies, the clock has beaten us. Thank you so much for joining me on JSB Talks Digital. We will continue these conversations, of course, on social media, but for now, it's a wrap. Thank you. The radio station belonging to NUI Galway, and it's where I trained as a broadcast journalist. So my first time behind the mic was actually down here. So this is the third time that I've actually streamed my podcast live on Facebook. I guess it expands the audience, but it also is teaching people about podcasts. There's only 0.9% of the population in Ireland for listening to podcasts. They're huge in America. So I guess I'm educating people about the power of audio And of course, I always say with JSB Talks Digital, you get to exercise your digital marketing muscles for free for 25 minutes a week if you listen to me. So for those of you that follow me on Snapchat, JSB Snaps, this is where I come every week for the podcast. Hi everyone, you're very welcome to JSB Talks Digital, the podcast for marketers, digital transformation champions, and those of you bringing your skills into the digital age. I'm Joanne Sweeney Burke, and this podcast is brought to you by Digital Training Institute. So let's talk about International Podcast Day. Daniel, you're very welcome to JSB Talks Digital, and thank you for joining me at 8:30 in the morning from Cincinnati.
Thank you very much, Joanne. I love the accent. So for 2 years, I was listening to podcasts, and at some point the light bulb just went off in my mind thinking, hey, wait, I know how to do this kind of thing.
Thank you so much for coming on JSB Talks Digital. Happy International Podcast Day.
International Podcast Day to you two and all of your listeners from all over the globe.
See you later. What is the power of podcasting for you from a professional or even a personal perspective? What has it done for you and what will it do for you?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is definitely the personal. I used to have huge social anxiety. So if anything, I've grown in confidence to just voice what I think about things.
Whirlwind today, and I think it's only 20 past 2, and I have a lot of more work to do. Thank you for tuning in on Facebook Live. It brings me back to my radio days when that red light goes on and you have to just front the audience and go with it. Thanks to Owen, who's produced my show for the past 67 weeks. I hope he sees it through another 67 more. Thanks to Jamie, who's been behind the camera and following me all day. But most of all, thanks to you. Without my listeners, I don't have a show to show up for. And thank you always for the feedback. I never think that I'm just talking to myself or just talking to Owen, because I know you guys are out there listening. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll talk to you soon.
I've got that selfie stick if it's any good to you.
Oh, go on. Yeah,
there you go.
This is the secret. When it comes to video, podcasting, or any type of digital content that you don't have 100% skill set in, it doesn't really matter. You know, I produce long form content, whether it's spoken word, whether it's audio, or whether it's the written word. But I've got Owen, I've got Jamelia, who's in Melbourne right now, but from Cape Town, South Africa. People like you, Jamie, Steve from Vivify, Marie Claire. So I collaborate with people who can do things better than I can do them, and I get to produce a lot more work. And that's one of JSB's secrets. Invest in really good people who are better than certain things than you are, and spend your time on what you're good at. Mind the pool. It's the end of the JSB Digital Diary Day. Thank you for coming along on my journeys to the podcast, to the Facebook Live, and also my digital conversations with my digital diva friends who I've met all on social media. Thanks to Jamie, who's been behind the camera. He's done an awesome job. I love having a D-Rock with me. I think JSB should have Jamie all the time with her, documenting her life. So today, in one day, I've been able to produce 2 vlogs, 1 podcast that will be fully wrapped. I've also created audio for another podcast. I will also have a promo video for my podcast at the end of this, and I will probably have social content that will probably get me over 2 to 3 weeks. So you can see, if you really plan out your day, if you batch your content, repurpose it as I do, you can be the digital content queen or king like me. It's been an awesome JSB Talks Digital vlog. I haven't done a vlog where somebody has actually shadowed me for a full day, so I'm really looking forward to looking back to this one and to see me in action. I run in heels all week. Tomorrow I'll be swapping the heels for my trainers as I get out along the wild Atlantic Way and train for my half marathon, which is next week. And that's a wrap. Thanks for joining JSB's Digital Diaries, and make sure that you subscribe to the Digital Training Institute YouTube channel for more of the same.